In India, some parents would rather educate their sons than daughters, because traditionally, boys have the role of providing for their family, including their parents as they age. Also, poor parents struggle to raise money for any child to go to school. Because of this, it is common for parents to make a girl work to earn money, or to force them to marry early, in which case they won't ever go to school.
If girls get an education, they will have smaller, healthier families, they will earn money, and they will help their country's development. Educating girls is so powerful, it makes such a huge difference that it has a multiplier effect. The benefits spread throughout countries and generations.
So this is the second part of the importance of girls' education. Picture a girl living on the streets. No roof above her, just the skies and the moon. She doesn't go to school, she's constantly hungry, she works as a maid, and she's getting married soon. Now, take that all away. Give her an education, give her a chance. Soon, she can get a loan to go to university and start a career of her choice. When she is ready, she can start a family. She will be able to get a good job and she'll be able to take care and provide for her family and for her village. Most importantly, she'll be able to send her kids to school to do the same as she did. Her kids will then be educated as well, and it will pass down from generation to generation to generation, helping their families, their villages, and all of society for the most part. This all happened because of one girl. She was educated and the effect spread to not only her family, but her village and the entire society. Imagine if this happened to the millions of girls worldwide. Thank you.
The colonial history of India.
Centuries ago, the British East India Company took over India to trade there and make money from India's resources. Because of the way they treated the Indian people, there were many rebellions against the company, specifically the Indian Rebellion of 1857, and so the British government took over. Their rule in India was called the Raj.
During this time, many European countries wanted control over India because of their spices, jewels, herbs, and many other valuable items. India was a huge trade center and was very wealthy before Britain took over. Taking over resource-rich countries was called colonization.
India was extremely wealthy before the British came, and its economy has never recovered from the wealth British took from it. When they left chaos. Now it's ranked third in the world for extreme poverty.
India gained freedom from England after World War II. There was fighting between the Muslims and the Hindus, and when the British stepped to join India, they formed two countries to stop vying between these religious groups.
Due to the separation in the countries, known as the partition, 10 million people had to move and 1 million people died.
Now, present-day India has improved greatly from what happened in the past, but still needs to grow and develop so that all citizens can be free from poverty.
This is Cultural Considerations by me, Gus, Emma, and Edwin. While we were studying India, we also learned about several important cultural considerations that affect girls' education. You have already heard that girls are not valued as much as boys in India. One cultural practice related to this is the dowry. A dowry is a fee a bride's parents pay the husband's family as a gift when they get married. Since parents must save up money to pay for their daughter's dowry, they are less likely to also pay for their daughter's education.
The dowry practice is now illegal, and luckily, as more girls are going to school over the last decade, there are many less girls getting married at a young age. Thank you. These are our slides of comparing education statistics in India to the U.S.
There's a large difference in India between people who live in a city and people who live in country areas. Here in the U.S., the difference is much lower, however, it still exists. Only 2% of children who live in villages in India go to college. The reason for this is probably because outside of cities, people are poorer and there are fewer schools and jobs. Only 27% of the people who grow up in the country in India finish high school, compared to 91% for the U.S.
In India, gender bias is a major problem. Girls don't get the same chances that boys, especially when it comes to their learning. 90% of males complete elementary school, while only 84% of females do. This is a very low percent considering over 99% of males and females complete elementary school in the United States. Also, in India, at a young age, 27% of males and 33% of females drop out of school, compared to the United States, where only 6% of females are out of school, often because they lack family support or need to work, just like girls in India.
Yay.
Thank you.
Now we're here to tell you about the organization Kiran and Anjali, who we are partnering with. Ms. Boy, one of the founders, tell us all about their work, and we are happy that she is here with us today, along with girls who have benefited from Kiran and Anjali's help.
Kiran and Anjali works with schools in India to educate kids. Learning English is important at the schools that the project supports because girls have to know English to go to college and to get good jobs.
The Wing School for Girls was the first school that Kiran and Anjali teamed up with. It is an all-girls school and it goes from 1st to 10th grade. The Wing School is located outside the city Hyderabad and it provides free education for all the girls that attend. The school has many fun classes such as music, art, and dance.
Many of the girls in the Wing School get scholarships to other schools. Having 2 meals provided encourages families to keep their daughters in school. Soon, they will begin to see the benefits of an education. Kiran and Anjali funds the Wing School so they can keep giving the girls the education they need.
The Kiran and Anjali project also supports other schools and programs, such as the Carnation Learning Center, Volley Mane, Plus 2, and the Feminist Approach to Technology. Thank you.
Dario, Ellie, Bella, and I cover the topics of essential questions concerning change.
As we've learned about the Kiran and Anjali project, we have been able to think deeply about cultural change through these essential questions. How do you change a culture?
Who decides if your culture needs to change? How do you know if a cultural change is good?
What needs to change in our culture? People should decide for themselves if their culture needs to change, such as how girls and women in poverty are affected by poor access to education.
In the past, efforts to help India and other developing countries failed because people helping were outsiders who thought they knew what was best for a different culture.
In India today, people try to change the culture through social media. There are social movements about empowering girls, but they aren't trying to change all aspects of Indian cultures, just to raise awareness for the issue of gender inequality.
For this reason, Kiran and Anjali works with leaders in India who know the needs of their community and helps as many girls in poverty to get the education they deserve. Thank you.
Our presentation is about what we learned and the reflections we made on the U.S. during our research.
We've become more aware of the sad truth that some kids can't go to school due to a lack of money and bias against girls. This has made us grateful for our fantastic education, homes, supportive families, and the many opportunities we are granted. It also has made us aware of issues related to gender, economics, and education here in the U.S.
While all children in America must attend school, their success depends greatly on the support of parents. Just like girls in India and beyond, we are very lucky to have the support.
While gender equality may be a bigger problem in other countries, we need to keep addressing it here too. For example, we still haven't had a female president, which shows women are not as equal to men in the U.S.
Now you've learned about the advantages of girls going to a school and how education can help solve a lot of problems in India. But it is important to remember that the U.S. is not a perfect country either. We have many issues that we can't disregard as we strive towards being a better educated society. So overall, education helps the whole world. And that's why we are supporting here in Anjali. Thank you.
I'm going to I have the pleasure of introducing Ms. Hoy. She's right here. She's one of the founders of Kiran Anjali, and I met her many years ago, the very first time our school worked with Kiran Anjali. And then this is the third year that we have been doing this really in-depth unit, studying India and working with Kiran Anjali again. But this is the first time she's been able to come back and see us in a while. And what's really exciting is that she has brought 2 alumna of the Wing School to talk to us. So I'm going to hand the microphone over to Ms. Hoy, and she's going to introduce our guest.
Good morning, everybody. It's a pleasure to be back here again. In 2009, when my friend Linda Floyd and I founded the Kiran Anjali Project, it was girls like Trivia and Vaishnavi that we were so wanting to help. So it is a thrill to be able to bring them here to the U.S., their first trip out of India ever, to talk to all the people who have been supporting them over the years. So I just want to say, well done, 8th grade. That was a really awesome presentation. I wouldn't change a thing of everything that you did, and I think our guests were equally as impressed. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce our first speaker, Shravya.
Hi, warm greetings to everyone. I'm so happy by looking all of you here. I'm Shravya. By age 14, I was orphaned, sole caretaker for my younger brother, and on my way to being a child bride. My father died when I was very young, and I have no memories of him. My mother passed away when I was 14. She died of jaundice, most likely from years of anemia due to poor health nutrition. Shortly after my mother passed away, my relatives had me engaged to get married to a cousin. I was standing here today because of my uncle and his wife stepped in and adopted my brother and me. My uncle believed that education is the only way to a better life. He had always been my champion and supporter. Several years before my mother passed away, he told her to enroll me in Wing School of Learning. Kiran Anjali project donors like St. Matthew's community supported my education from 5th grade when Wings opened until I graduated from 12th grade. I have just completed my second year of university pursuing a business and commerce degree at Begumpet Women's College, a government university. My goal is to take the Indian Administrative Service exam and work for the Central Bank of India. My adoptive father is encouraging me to do this because it is a secure job and it has many benefits. I wouldn't be in a position to even before this option if I didn't know English, which I learned in Wings. It would be my privilege to serve my nation. If I achieve my goal, I know that I can help my adoptive parents and take care of my brother. At last, from bottom of my heart, I would like to say two words, that is thank you Kiran Anjali project and St. Matthew's community, because like before getting into this Kiran Anjali project scholarship, I'm a bird like no wings. After getting into the support from Kiran Anjali project, I'm a bird with colorful wings. Thank you so much for giving me wonderful opportunity.
I'm Shravya's cousin. I'm so happy and grateful to be here. I'm here because you believe that every girl like me deserves a chance and a quality education. I'm here because of my parents' loyal and loving dedication. I'm here because I determined to have a better life than my parents. My parents are from humble beginnings. My father makes $142 per month. My mother has a backbreaking job in a nursery digging up plants. She makes $85 per month. In some ways, I know my family is better off than others. We have a roof over our heads, but the buildings are crumbling down after years of not having any money to make repairs. Until this year, there wasn't any running water at home, so my father used to drive nearby village every day to get water for us. We wash our clothes by hand. Meals are prepared daily. The amount of food our family has each day depends on on the money available. There are 7 people in my family. The Kiran Anjali project has been supporting my education since I started Wing School in 5th grade. The food program was a big help for my family, especially when Shravya and her brother came to live with us. Now I am in my 2nd year of university at Begumpet Women's College in Hyderabad, a government college. I am pursuing a degree in business and commerce. It was my dream to become a flight attendant because I could start working after grade 12 and support my family. But now that I have made it college, my dream have changed. Through mentoring with the Kiran Anjali project launch program, I got a temporary part-time job and realized that I could work and save money for the future. My mentor is also helping me find resources for scholarship to pursue an MBA after I work for a few years. It is because of donors like St. Matthew's community that I am on my way to achieving my dream. Helping me receive an education has not helped me, but it will help lift my family to a better place because I plan to take care of them when I get a good job. Thank you for being my dream makers. Thank you for giving me this a chance.
You all arrived yesterday, is that right? So this is kind of scary. You did so beautiful speakers, beautiful writers. Thank you so much for sharing those stories with us. Children, I bet you have a lot of questions, but I don't want to put our guests on the spot hearing all of your questions. I think that would be a little too much. But if you have questions for the 8th graders, Sutton would be willing to take your questions and the 8th graders will answer. We'll just take a few because we're almost out of time. But if you would like to ask the 8th graders about what they've learned, things that you might be curious about because of what they said, you may ask the 8th grader.
Why are less girls going to school in India?
So a lot of the times in India, boys are seen as better than girls because if you're a boy in India, it's easier to get a job and it's easier to work. And typically girls are getting married when they're really young because it gives them money from their husband. It's kind of for the country as a whole because it's creating equality and it's also giving everybody an equal chance.
How are boys better than girls?
To answer your question, in India, boys are often viewed better than girls because it's easier for them to get jobs and to help support the family, and supporting the family will help give them money. And since girls, if they're not educated, it's harder for them to make money. They often choose to educate the boys because they're viewed as more valuable. And so in India, boys.
But Sam, are boys better than girls, or are they just seen as better than girls?
Boys are not better than girls. In India, they're viewed as better than girls
By some people.
by some people, but like here, boys are equal to girls. It's just a cultural thing.
What year did the British take over India?
It was taken over around the 1700s.
What is the average income of India?
I think that varies based on, are you talking about girls or boys or both? Boys? Okay, I think
Did you say the average income?
average income, yeah. It varies based on, like here, like it depends on what job you have. It's like any other place, so if you're working like as like a farmer or as like and more like businessy kind of jobs and stuff like that, it will like vary, based on what job you have.
I remember this number. Do any of you guys remember this? Yes. From the global education. So this is not, okay, so Katie, this is a statistic that comes from the total economy divided per capita. So the statistic comes from like the gross national product, like how much money is made divided by the number of people that live in the country. In the United States, that number is 50,000 per person, and in India it is 1,300. And one of the reasons for that is because of how many more people live in India than live in the United States. We have about 300 million, 360 million people, and India has 1.4 billion people. That's a big deal. And half the land size. And half the land size.
How many US dollars is equal to, or how many Indian, what's the Indian currency?
Alana's on this one.
How many rupees are worth $1 US?
So Alana knows this.
Yeah, so $1 equals 70 rupees.
But the worth of the dollar has changed over time. The worth of the dollar has gotten more, so it used to be less.
other country, therefore.
The history group put in their slideshow to answer Karen's question. This is the subcontinent of India, and it's pretty big. It's not as big as the United States. It's about half as big, but it is a big country, and it is on the southern, sort of southeastern end of Asia. Okay, we're going to stop there. So lots of questions. Maybe if you keep talking about this in your class and your teachers want to pass on questions to the 8th graders, we would be happy to answer them. You all did such a nice job listening. Would you please give our guests and our 8th graders another round?